What's up? How's it going? I'm gonna let this thing sit here for just a second and see who kicks on. But until then, I'll give you a little video panorama of what we got going on. So in California, if you guys have been watching any of my other videos, boy, looks like we're getting ready to hit another one of those droughts. And so I think a lot of these really next upcoming videos I'm gonna do are really gonna be geared towards this whole no water issue that we're dealing with. So my neighbor came to me last week and said that he was having problems with his well, and it's pumping super short cycles, and it almost appears as like he's going through what he was with the drought, where it's not producing. So I came down and checked my well out to show him what I have going on, because I live on a low yield well, like a quarter gallon of a minute. So I built kind of, I don't know, it's kind of just a timer system right now while I still play with my well. But I'm going to show you guys what I'm doing to try to determine how many gallons a minute I'm pumping and what my pump cycle is. So I got some people showing up. I'm having well issues, so I'm kind of giving people an overview of what I'm doing to determine how much water I'm pumping in a cycle. So I hope you guys find this at least a little bit interesting. So let's see here. Let's switch you guys around. All right. Hey Roy, how's it going? So what I have is I have a Grundfos SQ Flex pump. It's 5SQ-2, I think, or something around that realm. And I'm on a low yield well. I'm only putting out a quarter gallon a minute. When I originally bought this house, they said it was 5 gallon a minute. So what I've done to really determine and kind of watch my system is I'm pumping out of my wellhead. I'm just going through a standard inline water meter, and then I have a pressure gauge where I can watch up the hill and try to see what's going on at the same time, which I think right now that gauge has died. So the other thing I have going on is I have an outlet to show that my well's pumping before all my check valves and my pressure system. And then I also have an outlet that bleeds back off here. Now, when I put this in, shortly after we started having issues, and Gaines on tech support hold, you should have called me, I would have helped you. So between these two systems right here, what we got going on is I got the ability to see that I got flow coming out of my well, and then I got a reverse feed that actually comes down off the holding tank, because this is in front of the check valve, so I actually can back feed off my holding tank with pretty decent pressure. It usually averages about 25 to 20 psi coming back. But so what I got going on here is I let this thing sit here and I rest, and so that I can start it up off my timer system. I got some old videos out there showing you guys. I had like what I called like a poor man PLC. And that poor man PLC was basically just this old sprinkler timer that was right here that was running to a 24 volt AC relay. And I would set all my times on when I wanted to pump. And that would let me do my pump cycles, because basically with the well over pumping the solar pump, I had to do multiple cycles a day. So I typically will do 4 pump cycles. So what I've done for kind of my temp setup is I'm using this 120 volt wall timer, and you're able to do like 7 program functions. And put that thing in auto mode, and it basically controls my Grundfos. I run it through it. It's only pulling like 350 watts. So this is my AC well pump control timer that's timing my system to do all my pump cycles throughout the day. I've really only had one failure with this thing. One of these switches died earlier this year, but I think I might have had a glitch in my system and then caused the program to die. So this also is just another temp system that I got going, playing with my lighting control stuff with the Midnight Brat. It just runs some LED lights outside off of a 100-watt panel just to do some play around stuff. So basically what I'm doing is I'm doing a timer. I got it running in the background. I'm watching this meter. And as soon as this meter stops, I ran it down to the low water level of the system. And so by running a timer and then looking at the gallons pumped, because I average about 5 gallons a minute on the production, I can figure out my pump cycle of what my timing needs to be before I can figure out my pump cycles for the seasons, because typically it changes. My pump cycles in the wintertime, traditionally I've been able to go like 15, 18 minutes with no issues at all, and pump water up into my holding tank, and it'll typically overflow out of my holding tank into my pond, which is going to change soon. That's going into another tank. I'm going to get a Norwesco one. But what we're running into is I can't even pump 10 minutes right now. So with my aquifer dropping, my neighbor's aquifer being in California with no rain, it's a pretty scary situation of you know, what's going on with our water. And that's why these solar pond pumps and everything I got going on with that is so important. Probably I'll wind up just drilling another well and hoping for the best, and hope that I don't have to put in too many wells just to try to make enough water so that my family can live. One of the other downsides to living off the grid here is that typically you have swamp coolers, and one of the greatest things ever is now we have, you know, the super efficient mini splits where we can cool off a house off the inverters with little strain with, you know, decent sized PV. So I don't know, just kind of the struggle is real off the grid, let's put it that way. And I'm pretty good at it. So, you know, gosh, the other day I got an emergency call. Somebody's system wasn't charging, and I went out and mouse had toasted some wires in their generator, and I was able to fix it. Those are the kind of things that you just got to be able to fix yourself when you're living off the grid. So, well, we got to be getting close to having to shut this thing off. I thought I'd just take a minute and try to do a live stream like Johnny Valentine did off of my cell phone data, not my Wi-Fi data. Is it clear? Are we doing better out there this time than the last live stream? I'm surprised Johnny Valentine. Oh, he's probably talking to tech support. All right, well, I'll go back and look at it. Perfect, right on. That's exciting stuff. I've been wanting to live stream out here at my house for so long, and they finally put a tower in close enough. I mean, I'm like 30 minutes out of town, so to be able to live stream of decent quality is really going to open up a ton of stuff for me to do more of my videos in the garage with my slider system, and show you guys what I got. What kind of trees are in my background? I'm in Northern California. I live in this area called the Bald Hills. Here, let me switch you guys around and make sure we're not pumped dry yet. Okay, so I'll give you guys a quick overview since we're sitting out here waiting. That's Tank, the guard dog. He's intimidating. I bought that house right there 5 years ago as a foreclosure. It was completely stripped. They took every single door, all the floors. They had wild pigs living in the house, and they destroyed this beautiful place. They only had it for about 4 big mushroomy, cool looking oak trees. And you can see all the bald hills out there in the background. They call this area the Bald Hills because there is very little trees on the hills, and it goes from green grass to completely dead in a heartbeat. So I'm on 40 acres with my little off-grid compound. So hope you guys like this live video. We'll try to keep more of these going. Johnny Valentine and I are trying to we're trying to go after Scott Hunt. We're taking him on. I think I watch a lot of other YouTubers that are doing the renewable energy stuff, and I think our little group of us are really tearing it up, trying to get more information out there to people to show them what off-grid stuff's like, and we really got to do to make it work, and also the cool stuff that I get to build for other people. So you guys all have a great day. All right, later.